Welcome, villains, to episode 101 of Rules of Villainy. I'm your host, Villain Vince, joined as always by my co-host, Villain Andy, and the mayor of Lorcana himself, Brad. How we doing today,
Woo!
gentlemen?
What's up,
It's
guys?
DLC weekend, baby.
I'm the favorite villain. Vince didn't say it, but I want to remind you.
Yeah,
Brad's here, but he
I
still
wasn't
can't
here to-
stop me. He
wasn't
still
here
can't
to
stop
defend
me.
it last week because my
Brad-
internet was out.
Brad's.
How about that?
Brad, you scared Vince. Vince is scared. Vince only introduces me as the favorite villain when you're not around. He's like, Brad's not here to bully me away from it, so I can call Andy the
knuckle
favorite.
sandwich.
Yeah. So, like, I just want to make sure.
I'm trying to
everyone-
be in my villain era, guys.
I
You
didn't
know,
lose my
everybody says
title.
I'm too nice, but no, guys, I missed the 100th episode. I was only in here for like 5 minutes. How about that? Out of all days, my internet could go out. It was the day that we are doing a live stream for our 100th episode. It was such a bummer, man. But I'm here now,
Yeah.
on the other
All right.
side of 100. I'm excited.
We did make it to 100.
We did make it. We did make it. I had a whole bunch to talk about, all these things I wanted to celebrate and all that, but I couldn't be here. So I'm going to take this whole episode to do it now. Everybody, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, see, I have seen the. I don't know. I know you were watching, Brad. Right?
Yeah.
You still had cell service,
Yep.
and there was a lot of stuff going on in the chat. There was a lot of talk in there that said Brad intentionally faked the internet outage so that he could be a viewer of the live stream, so that he could try and win the enchanted bell. Look, I'm not saying that happened. I'm just saying there was a lot of chatter about that happening in the live feed. So let us know in the chat whether you think Brad was intentionally cut his internet feed so that he could try and win the prizes that we had in our 100th episode.
I will 100% dispute that and just give you the facts now. The evidence is my name was not on that wheel, but somehow, well, not somehow, Emily signed up to be on it. I was like, what are you doing? Get off. I saw Emily's name when you spun the wheel. I was like, take her off there. What are you doing? She's not going to win the enchanted bell that she pulled for me and fabled herself already. So, yeah.
All right. Detective Vince, did you hear that? Did you write that down in your notes? He said that Emily's name was on the wheel. So we have a co-conspirator now in this, and it just goes deeper than before. So be sure to let us know your thoughts on, Bradgate.
In fairness, he did remove her from the spreadsheet, and I added her back to the spreadsheet.
I would have felt so bad.
So there's potentially actually a third co-conspirator here.
This is an inside job. This is an inside job. I'm outnumbered, guys.
Can I actually?
Chat.
I do actually want to take a minute though, since I wasn't here last week. I do want to thank everybody who's been along for the ride through 100 episodes, through all the events we've hosted, all the streams, everybody who's had us on so graciously on generously on their shows and their content. So appreciative of all of that. I made a stupid tweet last week about being 250 people shy of 1,000 because we had this unrealistic goal of getting to 1,000 before our 100th episode, and we didn't hit that mark. But because of people like Steven Gettle, our friends at Lorcana Heat, Richard Fruego himself, aka Dick Burns, we went up like 40. There was like a rally for like a subscription rally on Twitter. And got 40 new subscribers over the course of that time. So I want to shout out everybody who helped do that. You did not have to do that. It was just a silly tweet that I made, but want to welcome everybody who is now here, hopefully watching this and enjoying this, and can't wait to see what the next 100 brings.
Yeah, we also got a bunch of subscribers because after JDZ ended his stream on Sunday, he apparently rated us. I didn't know this was a thing on Twitch. And so we ended up on the Impact Twitch with I think at one point 60 folks.
Let's
go. We had folks move, just reminding them to go over, and you could literally watch our subscribers go up on YouTube.
That's so cool.
From that raid from JDZ. So a real shout out to him to
100%
do that at the end of his stream. Super cool.
Yeah, that was really awesome seeing everyone give us a shout out there and try and push us over the edge. Yeah. We have gotten closer. So do not forget to like and subscribe, and tell all your friends about us. We will be at the DLC. Come and see us. We've got stickers and swag, and we'd love to buy your subscription with
with stickers.
with a sticky piece of vinyl.
And I want your Jock cards. If you have Jock from Set 8, Reign of Jafar, a tentative uncle, I would love to meet you. I'd love to shake your hand, hug you, if you will, and have you sign a Jock card for me. I'm going to try to fill up as many little Mickey binders as we can with those, as everybody who does listen regularly knows. I have a Scotty that is my bestest boy, and has quickly made that one of my favorite cards in the game. So we're just going to have fun with it. Hopefully I get to see you there. Hopefully we can find a bunch of Jock cards and fill up my collection here.
Yep.
You want all Jocks, Brad?
All Jocks. All Jocks.
Okay. So like Jock cards, Jock straps, like Jocks.
Yep.
All right. With that,
all of it.
Underworld news. We have a short news week because obviously the big news is this weekend, the DLC, but also is the release of Toy Story 5, and with that, the promo at AMC theaters, and some LGSs will be having a pack rush event where you can buy 2 packs, play, and then you'll get this Buzz promo. I know a lot of stores are actually like rescheduling those a little bit too, so that folks from DLC Indiana can do them later. So there's a little bit of
They
so
actually,
if you're going to the DLC, you might be able to still get it later. Just connect with your local game store.
Yeah, you have until the 28th. They extended the window to schedule that. So really cool that they did that.
And with that, let's move on to Constituents Corner.
All right, our first question comes from Hammy. This question sounds familiar, but maybe it's because there was a discussion in the Discord. He asked, what is a deck archetype or color combo you want to see get a bit more love, either now or post rotation?
So just to answer, we did answer this in our live stream, but I wanted to, because this is Hammond, who I met in Australia, and I wanted to include it in our actual recorded pod, just in case he wasn't able to see the live stream yet or have a chance. So that's why we're redoing this question.
Okay.
Well, and Brad didn't get a chance to answer it, so
that's true.
Go ahead, Brad.
I guess I didn't get a chance. I don't know. What's the archetype? I mean, Ruby Steel is on the rise. We saw Sky piloting a really fun looking mill deck of that just this past weekend that seems to be making waves. So Ruby Steel might finally get its due with the combination of Whole New World and Hercules pulling it out, the new Hercules pulling it out of the discard, and the Max Goof being the 4/3 that sings it, Singer 5. Looked like it was a lot of fun, and Sky's just a great player. I don't know how far he got. I didn't see the results of that tournament on that deck, but it was a deck that was really hyped up in the community online. Garrick was talking about it on Twitter. He didn't really reveal what it was yet, but kind of hyping it up before the tournament. I've always been a fan of the Mulan Challenger deck in Ruby Steel, but with all the Whole New World shenanigans and stuff, it seems like it's a lot of fun. So I think that's the first one that came to mind for me. What about you guys?
Andy?
Well, that's Infinity, right?
It is Infinity. You're right. So I completely ignored the post-rotation meaning core.
Color combo. I mean, I guess it is just what archetype or color combo do you want to see get a bit more love, either now or post-rotation? I guess that kind of implies core, but doesn't. Yeah, either or. I don't know. I would love to see all color combos be able to be played relatively equally. I think all of them should be playable to some extent. Maybe not necessarily equally. I don't know where the best balance is. If you can balance all of them equally, that's like 15, right? Color combos. But
we know the real answer here, though, Andy. It's mono amethyst.
Mono amethyst, yeah. But I don't like. I don't know. As far as like archetype, or whatever, like dogs or dwarves or this or that, I'm not the biggest fan of those types of decks. I like decks that have smaller pods of characters from a particular franchise, like dogs. I guess you could say, right? It has this dog's core, and then we had it with the bounce package. Those were all Sword in the Stone characters that we were playing. I like that. Plus, then you pair it with all your Elsa cards, or you pair it with all your, Moana cards or whatever. It kind of makes for fun when you're playing the game. But yeah, I don't really have one. I do predict toys will be really strong after post rotation.
Yeah.
Just like the toys cards are very powerful right now.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things from last week was getting Vince on my toy deck at Fortuna, and I think might be converting him into showing him that it's a real deck. I feel like it was not really thought about before you actually got to see all the cool things it could do.
It could do a lot. Yes, I will give it that.
Is it
And
Ruby
we have
Ambler?
seen, that some of the toy mechanics are actually making their way into some core and infinity decks. So that's
Yep.
really interesting to see. For me, I'll just say that I want to see the deck that certainly Brad did convince me of, even if we have some disagreements about what's in that deck, is brooms. And so I would love to see more brooms in the meta, because I want a better broom deck. That's what I want. Like, I like my broom deck. I just want it to be a better broom deck. In order for that, I need more brooms.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the obvious answer here is that Ruby Seal's like the one kind of color combination that I just don't think has seen a ton of love. Maybe the other one too, that hasn't seen a ton of love, but maybe a little bit more, is a Sapphire Amber.
Yeah, that's on the up and up. Seen some different
So,
versions that have been a lot of fun.
yep. So next question.
All right, from Martin Karp. This is a spicy one. I might spend a lot of time on this one. Thoughts on investors, scalpers, and resellers coming back to Lorcana and affecting the market on both sealed and high rarity cards? I feel like we could talk about that for a while. I don't know how much we want to dwell on that. I have very strong opinions about the potential of what it could do to the game, but maybe let you guys start first to spare everybody my ranting.
Well, Andy and I talked about this a lot on the live stream.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. So, Andy, if you just want to kind of sum up your point real quick.
I'm gonna be honest. Don't exactly remember my point well enough to to sum it up right now. But I kind of agree with Brad that there is a lot to talk about on this. One, I dislike scalpers in ways that I can't say without getting Mickey'd. And I think yeah, I guess I could sum it up in that it kind of boiled down to, like, for collectors, this may end up meaning it's more expensive for you perhaps to get a sealed case and keep it sealed, perhaps to just try and open packs and collect all of the enchanteds, the cost of enchanteds. I think for players, it is a good thing because it will mean singles costs will go down. If there are more people who are opening packs and not playing the game, that means that all of the cards that aren't worth, a high enough, the cards that aren't rare enough will end up being able to be sold for, just be flooding the market with them. And we already saw with the higher pull rates that, there's just going to be like a ton of these legendary cards and things like that that'll make them cheaper. But this is it's a really interesting topic. I've talked it over with one of our competitive team members, Heinz, super goof collector. I don't know what he officially goes
Enchanted
by.
Ryan.
Yeah, I don't know what he goes by these days, but he's really really knowledgeable on a lot of this stuff, and so as soon as I heard this question read, it just kind of made me think, hey, I wonder if enough people really want to hear our opinions on this. I wonder if maybe we, could make an extra piece of content on this, get Ryan on and talk with him, share our thoughts a little more in detail, ask a little bit of questions, maybe try and understand. Because I've also seen people talk online about how this is going to come and go, right? that the investors are like, oh, it's all hype, and then they're just not gonna be into that. Like these values aren't gonna stick. But
Yeah.
like I mean, of all the Lorcana players I know, how many of them do you know that really want a PSA 10 iconic buzz kind of thing, right? Like, it's I don't know.
I mean, I don't
We're in
know.
we're in the players market.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what kind of has me like on one hand, it's really cool seeing some of the enchanteds I've pulled over the sets being like, whoa, that value is really, really high. I don't really want to part with it, but like, wow, I could make quite a few dollars on that. But on the flip side, I agree with you. I like the availability of the legendaries, which we haven't really had at a cheap price before. I remember when Maui Shark and Cinderella were all like $60 cards and stuff. And I was like, I'm never paying that kind of money for a single legendary card. I'll just play a different deck. But so them being on the market cheaper is nice. But at the same time, what really kind of irks me is that half of the fun of this game is opening packs. And if the player base, the casual player base can't do that because people are coming in and scooping up all the product and be like, oh, but it's okay. It's okay. All of the stuff that you want, you can buy secondhand. Like, but no, I just want to open packs sometimes, and it sucks. Excuse me. I got caught up in it there, but
Wow,
like it
Brad,
sucks
that's
when
really, really powerful words from you. I
when I talk
think
too
we're all
much,
blown
sometimes
away.
I just like gotta take a
Karen,
breath. But
tell your
uh,
kids to go in the other room for a moment. Brad's using the big boy language here.
no. But yeah, so like I think about the people who want to open packs and have fun with it, and in contrast to the people who are just going in and buying out stores for the sake of just buying all the product and hoping to get that big hit, and it just takes away from the experience for the people who want to do that as well, and not for a profit. Like I'm all about the community here, coming into the different stores, playing the games, and having fun with it. But when there's literally people here that will go into stores and just buy it out if they can, and it's frustrating and it's heartbreaking in a way because like I would like our store to have products so when new players come in, they can experience opening packs and finding something really cool there and have that moment. And if the product's not available, that sucks a lot, and I don't know. Of course, there's going to be chase cards. Everybody's going to buy stuff, but buying it just for that is, I don't know. And I'm new to all of this, so I know it happens in every game, but it shouldn't. I don't think. I just want to buy cards and have fun with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a balance, right? Like the most successful card games sustain because they have strong collectors markets
Sure.
and they have strong players markets. Like it's, the players, move the game along, and the collectors kind of keep the product moving off the shelf. Um, and there is kind of a balance there, and I think we see that balance gets skewed in different games in different ways. So like Pokemon, it's like you can't, they like at big box retailers, when I go to my local Target and stuff, it's never on display because they have to keep it behind the counter to really enforce the 2-pack limit, which is something new they kind of did in the past few months, to really prevent scalpers and stuff so that kids can go and, with their parents or just themselves and get a pack of cards and stuff. But on the flip side of that, though, like it does make that game like a little bit more inaccessible, right? Because you've got such a high scalper market there on that is trying to resell and flip that, and that's the real problem here. It's not collectors and it's not players. It's the scalpers that come in the middle of those two folks to try to arbitrage this game because they see, hey, I'm going to, it's like if I buy a box or buy a pack of cards at Target, buy a pack for $6, and then I can turn around and flip it and turn that pack of cards for $9. We saw this in the first chapter. We saw this in the Rise of Floodborn, and then they printed into the inklings into the ground in order to kind of like get the product out there and get it into the hands of players. And that was probably like a combination of a weak set and a lot of product that just sat on shelves for a long time. But ultimately, like I just think, we're in an awkward space. And I, on the one hand, I want to say it's good for the game that we're seeing collectors get into the market. On the other hand, it does make me concerned about stores and other people taking advantage of members of the community on the secondary market. I mean, there are stores here in our area that you could have bought a box for Wilds Unknown for like 150, MSRP when it first came out, and now you walk in the store and it's like $100 more, or something.
Yep.
And it's like that to me leaves a real bad taste in my mouth. Leaves a bad taste for me, I honestly, with some of those stores, because I think they're taking advantage. Like, I think there's a better way to handle that than to, basically jack up your own prices to make more profit. So I don't know. I'll be curious to see how long this goes. I think Attack of the Vine is also going to be like this, and it's probably going to be like this from the start.
Yep.
Just because people are now in it and they see it. We kind of got lucky that that Wilds Unknown, this happened later into the set, whereas I think people will be much more on the radar. And so I think Attack of the Vine is going to be worse. Whether or not that continues on and we can kind of reach an equilibrium, I think time will tell.
So I got a couple things. First off, we're giving away too much of the sauce here. We said if they want an extra episode, they gotta tell us in the comments. But comment below, because we can definitely elaborate even more on some of this. One,
Sure.
To add to Vince, I agree. I don't like stores that arbitrarily raise their price. They bought a product at a specific price. There are good LGS out there. I hope you are at one and you love one and you go there regularly. I have LGS, local game stores that I go to that don't sell their product to scalpers, that do things to prevent scalping, that save it for the regular local players. Those good stores are out there. Find them, support them.
Yep.
You're good with that. And then
100%.
I do want to say that I think, one thing I would love to maybe explore in this extra piece of content, you said it needs collectors and players. Could it be just players? What if this was a subscription model? What if we were paying X dollars a month to get, you pay $20 a month, you get one of every single, or a play set of every single card, or you can pay $100 a month and get all the epics, or $200 and get the enchanteds, or $1,000 a month and get the iconics. And now it does. If you collect, you just buy them. You just buy them directly from Ravensburger, because Ravensburger is really just releasing a game that you're paying for once, quarterly, right? So
yeah, I think it's an interesting question, and I think to find out our answers, you're gonna have to subscribe down below, ring that bell icon, let us know if you want us to talk more about it, and we'll move on to the next question.
All right, from Paul, he's asking, so the Dogs deck has been consistently touted as the best deck, but hasn't always been the most played deck. With DLC Indy hopefully being Tramp's last ride, do you think it will be the most played deck, and if so, by how much?
I just want to. He said it hasn't always been the most played deck. Well, yeah, I mean, no deck has been the most played at every single event ever, or even just in this set, right? But it definitely has been the most played deck at several events.
I don't think
there could be a discussion about majority versus, what percentage of events had. But I mean, we saw day one of of Dortmund had 35%, and day two it was less at like 20.
It was still a plurality,
but it was still
of
the
decks.
second most deck or something like that. So it is, arguably, if you add them all up, it's one of, if not the most played deck in a lot of these major tournaments, I feel like. Do we have those stats somewhere? Producer,
Probably
can you grab those stats for us?
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. We don't invisible producer who doesn't exist at the other end of this microphone.
I mean, I guess according to, can we go by? Yeah, I guess according to Ink Decks, Amber Steel is 19% of the Infinity metagame in Wilds Unknown. And I guess we want to do big events here, right? So 21% Amber Steel, 20% Amber Emerald, 15 Ruby Amethyst, 15 Ruby Sapphire, nominal of the rest. So, it's second most, right?
Still,
Yeah.
the question is ultimately comes down to how much of it do you think we're going to see in Indy?
Right.
The Dogs deck in Infinity is not much different than core, right? It's a core deck plus Rapunzel, maybe a few other things, but
Yeah,
no,
basically.
just that.
I don't
Yeah.
know if they throw in Chip and stuff. We talked about Chip a couple weeks ago, but Chip is still core. But
Piglet. Piglet.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Piglet makes sense. Yeah,
Chip.
Chip? Not Chip. I always call him Chip, the new one, Dale.
Dale. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's core, right? Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm just I shouldn't even talk about it. Anybody who's been watching my meta reports or been around the community in the local events, I'm sick of dogs, man.
Brad hates dogs. Everyone.
I love my dog. One of y'all brave enough to play Jock in your dog's deck, but go and hop in all these tournaments.
Is that why he wants to collect all these Jock cards?
Yeah, I'll build my own dog's deck, my illegal Lorcana deck with all Jocks.
We've alerted the local humane society. Brad hates dogs. They're on the lookout. Don't worry. Lock your dogs up. Make sure they're safe. Brad,
have I been on this episode or on the show since the set championship? I don't think I have. It Impact 2 weeks ago, where 22 people, 5 decks in the tournament were dogs, and I played 4 of them in 5 rounds of Swiss. It was just bad luck. It puts a real bad taste in your mouth. And then our Infinity tournament this past Sunday that we live streamed as well. First 2 rounds, dogs. It was Lily, who I got the first round. I was playing Ruby Fossa, and I got her in the first game, and then she reverse swept me. And then Tom, I got in the first game. The guy who knocked me out of the set championship in round 5 was playing Infinity Dogs, and I got him in the first round, and then got reverse swept. And it's just because once it hits its stride, there's no stopping it. The fact we're going to talk about play lines a lot later when we get to the back end of the show, but you can't stop what it's trying to do. You can, but you have to alter correctly, and it's tough, man. I'm so sick of it. I can't wait for it to see how it changes. To answer you, Paul, yes, it's going to be a lot of dogs in the room, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Will it be the most played deck? Or do you think it'll probably be a second?
It'll be first or second.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if so, by how much? What exact percentage do you predict? No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to predict exactly.
It'd be fun though.
He says,
what are we predicting?
DLC Indy hopefully being Tramp's last ride. I don't know that we will find out anything. If they decide to ban something like Tramp in Infinity, I don't know that we will hear about it until until around the start of the training period for whatever the next Infinity event is, right?
Yeah.
I think they'll cook it until then, and then but this is Tramp's last ride in core, all right? I mean, set champs for a couple weekends.
Yeah, set champs, and then after that it'll be over. But yeah, my answer here is yes and yes. Yep, it'll be the most, and by how much? Yes.
Before we
not a quantitative number, but
before we dive into the main segment, I want to ask my own questions. I feel like that was a good lead into what do we think the top decks are going to be in Indianapolis by percentage, not the winning decks. We could ask what we think is going to win, but we can save that for later. But based on color combinations, what do we think is going to be the top 3 decks? I guess. I think Dogs is up in there, and then Amber Steel Song is up there as well. Would the third one be Ruby Sapphire?
Ruby Sapphire is what I would say. Yep.
Has Sapphire Steel fallen off? Sapphire Steel items?
It fell off probably 30 seconds after they banned Hiram.
Okay. I didn't know. I thought people were still playing around with that too, but Ruby Sapphire is
probably about an hour or so after they banned Hiram. In case anyone was in the middle of a game actually, as Hiram was banned. They were allowed to play out the remainder of that game, and it is Sapphire Steel items, so that game could have taken anywhere up to an hour.
I mean, there are things though that I think, depending on if matchups wise, uh, I think we could see Amethyst Ruby do pretty well. I just don't think it'll be
Amethyst
might be.
Ruby?
Yeah, Ruby Amethyst.
Okay,
RA.
there we go. Who
It
calls
is
it
technically
Amethyst Ruby?
Well, that's the right way to say it if we're doing it in color order.
No, it's not.
No, it's just not. We're not doing that.
It's not.
No, yeah.
But yeah, I was really interested. I mean, if you take a look at the tournament we did for our 100th episode, the final match was a no dogs match. It was Ruby Sapphire versus Amethyst Emerald.
No, it was
Emerald Steel.
Emerald Steel. Yeah.
Oh, it was Emerald Steel. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It was Emerald Steel. My bad.
That's fascinating actually. When you put it, I didn't think about it in that regard. I did the meta report, of course, on the winning deck, but I didn't think about the fact, wow, dogs wasn't in the finale. That's interesting. And I've heard people say, I think even Tom was telling me as we were playing in round 2 that it just Infinity Dogs feels different. Like there's something there. There's just so many more tools in Infinity that makes it weaker than what it does in core.
Oh yeah, it makes it weaker. Yeah, it's weaker to play dogs because the only thing you're adding is Rapunzel and maybe a piglet, but the things they are gaining,
everybody else got Brawl back, and,
Brawl,
Storm Rage on, all that. Yeah.
Even nobody's playing it, but Grab Your Sword. Why are we not? Why are we not playing Grab Your Sword? Imagine going like Bobby, Willow, Bobby, and then they like.
They did turn 2 ramp.
Yeah, I don't know. They do something with a singer out there. I mean, turn 1 and then turn 2, they quest their Aurora and they play Ariel for 2.
Yeah,
and then they get the song, and
Grab
then next
sword,
turn they sing Grab Swords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before anybody thinks that the players that were playing dogs weren't good players at Impact.
It's not the case.
The one was a Golden Mickey winner.
Yep.
And the other was his brother, who's arguably probably wasn't it Blake?
He was on Amber Steel. Blake's on Amber Steel. Tom was on dogs. That might have been it might have been just Aiden and Tom.
Oh, might have just been Aiden.
Tom Casey, Tom C, Aiden, and Lily, or 3 for sure.
And Lily, right? Lily, you already said that.
I didn't do deck list that day, so
if
there were any others, I probably would have been paired into them. So I just left when I got the 3rd round by. So it's like, yeah, I'm done. Too many dogs.
Players. I think we saw Aiden versus Lily on stream.
We did.
Oh, good, good.
Right after Lily whooped Brad's butt.
She really did. Reverse sweep.
Yeah, she sat down at the table and wiped the mayor's blood. Wiped the blood off her face after whooping the mayor.
All right. Yeah.
Well, any other questions?
No, that's it. Appreciate everybody who wrote in to get your questions answered on the show. If you want your questions answered, feel free to comment below. Find us on the socials at Rules of Villainy, or join our Discord where you can ask in the Constituents Corner channel and get the conversation going early before it even reaches the show.
Yeah. So we've got DLC Indianapolis coming upon us. If you're listening to this, you're probably driving there, on your way there, already there, walking to your hotel, because we know you love the Rules of Villainy. You just can't get enough of the Rules of Villainy. And so our entire team is going to the DLC. I think this is the first time the entire Rules of Villainy competitive team is going to any
single event. Honestly.
Any single event together. Yeah. So that's really, really cool. Really, really exciting. And with that though, we're all kind of doing some different things. I am a lore guide. Woo, yay, exciting.
Yeah, lore guide Vinny. My co-host Vinny.
I don't know exactly what I'll be doing. I know I'm a floor judge, but that could be multitudes of events that I could be either running side events. I could be on the main floor. I could be doing pack rush.
Means you're not on the stream though, right? You're not a stream judge.
No, I'm not a stream
Okay,
judge.
okay.
No,
Not
no.
yet.
They reserve those for the kind of most qualified of the judges, the most
Yeah.
experience.
For Speedy, Phil, and Googly. They're the top three that I can think of. I mean, everybody's fantastic, but they're the ones I always see in the that I remember seeing on stream.
Yeah. I mean, so Richmond, they had a whole bunch of different ones because Speedy was running like a side, he ran the Friday event. So he
Sure.
was got his like kind of, I don't know if that was his first experience running that side of an event. But you know, yeah, I think he did a great job of running that Friday event.
Oh, for sure.
You know, as best as one could do given the constraints of the Ravensburger playoff. I mean, I think honestly, that is my biggest concern is like how will RPH kind of hold up and stuff. Like I think it did well in Richmond. But it can stutter. My biggest thing I will just ask if you're listening to this, please, the one thing you can do, the absolute number one thing you can do as a player is when your match is done, report your results.
Not
Put
just
your
you could
results
do,
into plate.
you should do.
Oh, 100%. But I'm
Yeah,
trying to be polite about it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. If you cannot report, no big deal. Call a lore guide or go up to the table to the table and tell them, hey, I need to report my match if you can't do it. That is because you don't want to wait until they tell you. What were you gonna say, Brad?
I was going to say in a not so pleasant way, but I will rearrange how I'm going to say it. Yes, if you can't do it on your phone, you need to find somebody who can do it for you. But doing it on your phone, getting it taken care of yourself is infinitely better because I had an experience. My very first match in Milwaukee, the winner of my match reported it incorrectly, and I went above and beyond to the desk to try to get it changed. They assured me that it was going to change, and I kept checking the app over and over again, and it never happened. And then I got paired into the wrong person on round 2, and they're not going to repair that like with 4,000, however many people there, right? And I'm just like, I told the guys like, hey, listen, I'm probably not supposed to be paired against you, but here I am. Like, I just want you to be aware that we had a mishap, and I tried to get them to change it and fix the results, and they never did it. So, best case scenario, just report your match, and you don't have to worry about have to rely on anybody else to do it for you.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say like if you need to report to the scorekeeper at the desk, you both players should go to the desk and say, hey, like I need to report the match to this. Yeah. You know, there is a lot going on, but it does help the tournament run a lot smoother and a lot faster, which is great for kind of everybody. But I will just say that I do expect this tournament more than any others to take a little bit longer because there are decks now in the meta that do play to time.
Every single card of their deck.
Yeah, that play to, that do really leverage the time. And so I think that might be the biggest weakness of that particular deck, which we'll probably talk about here in a second. But I just keeping that in mind is to report your matches. Also, just be friendly with the judges and the lore guides that are around there. Everybody's just trying to help you out and stuff. I mean, if you really genuinely do have a negative experience, though, you should bring it to the attention of someone at the event. We want this to be positive, but everybody that's going to be a lore guide is basically like doing it because they enjoy it. They enjoy going and running these events and stuff. You know, so hopefully I'll have more to say about how the experience was. I'm also going to be a lore guide with Tabitha as well, who's a member of our community. Her and I last time we competed in we were both running the Pack Rush side event one day, and her and I competed with how many people we could sit down the fastest as they came in. We were literally like arguing. It's like, no, come here, and she'd be over the next table, like, no, come here.
It's like Legolas and Gimli.
And honestly, we had the most fun doing it. And
It's meant to be fun.
Yeah.
So here's my strat as a player. If you win the match, it is the most important thing in the world for you to report that match. Report it right away on your phone. You can't do what they said. If you didn't win, walk away, catch a breather, take 5 minutes, or let's do this. Let's say this. Take 10% of the remaining time in the round. Check your clock, and then check your phone. If it's not reported, maybe do the nice thing and report it in favor of your opponent, how it actually happened, and get it over. If you get called on the intercom to report your match, and we are waiting on you, I promise you there will be a bunch of people in cosplay that take you outside, and Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck will give you the business in the alley and make you be upset for.
Honestly, without question, the best advice I can give players when it comes to reporting your matches is one person in the match should pull up their phone, report the results before they submit it. They should show it to their opponent
100%.
and be like, hey, does this look good? And then the opponent should say yes or no, and then watch them submit the results.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
It's really simple.
Super quick, and like, look, I get it. Especially if you're on the losing end, especially as it gets closer at the end.
There are no losers in Lorcana, only people who didn't win.
Nice one.
No, that's a real thing. That's what they say.
I'm
serious.
I don't disagree that that's something they say. But I'll just say that there is going to be a person who wins a round, and there's going to be a person who didn't win a round.
Yes.
And if you're the person who didn't win the round, as tough as that can be, just report the result, and then like go get yourself motivated for the next round and stuff. And honestly, too, here's the thing: going to a DLC is also just about having a lot of fun with other people who love the game of Lorcana and stuff. So, I mean, honestly, one of the things us lore guides do is we talk to each other about fun, obscure judge rules and questions that we will never see in real life, because it's fun for us. But yeah, my expectation here is, my hope is just to get more experience being a lore guide, and eventually, hopefully, do more of it at higher levels of competition.
Are we gonna see Vince in a DLC finals match as a lore guide? Is that a goal in your future? Like, are you also trying to, be in a DLC finals? Like,
I mean,
competitive team players are and such, and you're just, you want to be that good at lore guiding that you get to be.
Well, that would be a conflict of interest when you're sitting at that final table. One of us is sitting at that final table, right?
That would be. I'm sorry, you would get kicked out. All right, Vince would get kicked out, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, is that you make it seem
that a goal?
like you want to.
I'll be honest. My real true goal in Lorcana is to be on a DLC casting crew. That would be my ultimate goal. But I really do love the logistics and background of these events, and so that's why I really enjoy being a judge. But yeah, I don't have any particular lore guiding particular goals and stuff. I mean, I think just be nice to get more experience doing it so that I can bring that experience back to the area and, hopefully encourage more folks in our area to do it. There is compensation as part of doing it. But basically that compensation pays for going to the event and experience. So honestly, I can, encourage a lot of folks that if they're interested, they should do it.
Vince told me how much he makes, Brad. He said he makes
what?
$1 million.
I was like, he better not have. I'm pretty sure that he can't.
I
Oh no, you're right.
no
You're right.
such
Sorry.
thing.
Yeah.
I did no
I'm not-
such thing.
Yes.
It's actually $1 billion.
That's why I was like shocked. I was like, what is he gonna say that I allegedly said? But yeah, so I would just encourage folks to do it, especially if they're interested and they have a hard time maybe making it to a DLC and stuff. It's a great way to still get a DLC experience. You know, and you can still play things like we had other my colleagues, because you get an attendee badge as it, so you don't have to do all the days of the event. You can just work like 2 days of the event or 1 day of the event, and you can then play. And it's a great way to like get yourself to the DLC, get participate, learn a lot about how the game works, and also then play the game while you're there on these side events and stuff. So, yeah. But I think that's enough of me and the lore guiding. Let's talk about you two and our team. So, Brad, let's start with you. What are your goals and ambitions for DLC Indianapolis?
I'm literally just going to have fun. I've said on here a couple weeks ago, I'm just going for the vibes. I'm not taking it seriously. I do not care about Infinity at all. I do enjoy getting to play my old favorite decks again. All signs point to I should be playing Ruby Fossa there, but realistically, my brain tells me that it's just not going to find good matchups. Though in testing, it's still really fun to play, and when it works, it's so much fun. Like I said, I brought it to Impact last week and started each round feeling pretty good about it before dogs just came swooping in, and made some adjustments. I threw in some Mulan shifts and stuff to try to cater to the dogs early, take the dogs out early, but I don't know. I'm ultimately going. I'm going to support the team, going to see my friends, everybody I haven't seen since Milwaukee, and make some new ones. There's a lot of creators out there I haven't met yet that I keep saying I'm going to. I saw Additional Ink, Jeff, out at in Milwaukee, and then I never went and said hi. I saw him on Friday night. I was like, I got all weekend to say hi to him. Never said hi. And then just multiple people out there that I can't wait to see again. And then I'm going to have fun to play a couple side events. I am playing a 2-player event with one of our listeners, Jackalope Spam. As you guys, if you've been listening regularly, you've probably heard his questions being asked on here. Nick, we met in Milwaukee, and great guy.
You doing the 2v2?
And we're doing a 2v2. I got to figure out. No, it's core. I thought it was Infinity because I was texting him about building decks. And no, we're either doing Friday or Sunday, one of the two. I'll have to look. I think it's Friday.
Because a bunch of us teammates are doing the Sunday 2v2 Infinity.
I'll have to double check. But the one we're doing is core.
That reminds me, Pierce and I have to build a deck.
I was upset because I was like, I kind of want to go old school and get the old legendary Ursula from the first chapter that gets, drains lore and draws cards and things like that. And, just like a big lore siphon deck. And he goes, I think we're in the core one. And I'm like, well, all right, Ursula's out.
You know what the secret is, though? You know what the secret is? Sing together. When you read a sing together card, it says you may sing this with any of your or your teammates' cards.
We're on that bus. We talked about that as well. Yeah. So looking at that, looking at those, I gotta build that tonight and figure out what that's going to be. I might just run a deck that I already have built since it's core. I could just run toys or something, but because 2-player is we're playing to 40, right? What's that?
You both have to get to 20. You both have to get to 20. Okay. So he plays a little more mid-range control, and you play Amber, Emerald, dog toys. It's the same concept. It's the same concept as dogs, but you use all of the toys. So Buzz, RC, Alien, they all have enough strength that they can't easily be under the seed back.
Mm-hmm.
And they also hit. They also clap back when they're challenged into and stuff. And it's a pretty interesting deck. Plus, you got Woody.
But that would
mean
I have to play dogs. You think I want to play dogs?
Well, the only dog in it, I think, is Tramp. I think Tramp's the only dog in it, really. Maybe Little Tramp.
Should be Jock.
But you play Woody and Woody, the Woody shift line instead of the Lady shift line.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
that makes sense. Lots of 2 costs and lower under there.
I'm going to search for each opponent, and I'm just
Yeah.
grabbing all of the cards.
Yeah, let me know. But aside from that, yeah, Friday, a core 2-player, and then a core constructed that is the third hour. So I got to figure out what I'm doing, if I'm doing the 2 p.m. core constructed or not. And then Saturday, of course, the main event. Who knows what's going to happen there? Hope to have fun regardless. But if every match is dogs, then it's not going to be great. Milwaukee, I ran into, I think, 5 or 6 Blurple mirrors and was just drained by the time I got to the end of the night, at the end of the day. But yeah, going for vibes, going to have fun, hanging out, support all of you. I want to see the entire competitive team make day 2. It would be incredible. I know you guys are putting in so much work.
What is like one thing you're super excited about?
Just seeing everybody. Going to Indianapolis. I know my wife she wants to go out there really badly. She spent several years out there. We're gonna go check out some things. I regret that I can't go see Toy Story 5 with you guys, but we're getting in really late on Thursday. But seeing everybody, I heard Rochelle's going again. I haven't seen her since Chicago, so I'll get to say hi to her for the first time since Chicago, a year and a half. So that when you actually played her, I got a picture of you guys playing for the promos there. But so that'll be fun to see her. I would really be excited to see Tito, but I don't think he's going.
No, I love you,
no.
Craig Tito.
No, because he's gonna go to Gen Con.
He loves me too, by the way.
That's right.
Yeah, so he's not going to both, unfortunately. But yeah, it is exciting to be able to see Rochelle. I haven't seen her since.
I'm pretty sure I saw in the official
either.
Discord that she said she's going to be there. So
she is. I think she is confirmed that.
Okay.
On the Twitters as well.
Okay.
All right, Andy. What about you? What are your goals and ambitions?
I don't know. We'll have fun. Just have fun playing the cards.
All right.
That I enjoy. I want to try and make more content. I'm not very prepared for it, but I feel like I have enough, sort of ideas and pieces that I can probably maybe stumble into a couple pieces of content that I can create. I think Brad should take a selfie with everyone who gives him a jock card at the DLC.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And then he could put it together in like one of those like photo flip book things with music in the background.
I would love that. Yeah.
Boom. There's a piece of content. Try and remember to take a picture of everyone giving you a Jacques card. And then I still have goals for some shorts series. So definitely come say hi in Indianapolis. There's a possibility I stumble into doing well, right? Like I'm not the worst Lorcana player out there. I mean, I'll be close, but I'm not the worst. So
it's funny you mentioned content because that is also something I'm going to do, which is why I bought this.
Yeah, I got one too. I also broke down and got the microphone that connects to it. It's like
just you can break down and buy it.
I just had deja vu. Didn't you buy that for the last DLC?
Yeah, he did.
You not?
I think he had it for Australia.
Oh,
I
Australia.
did. I bought it for Australia, but I did not. But I bought it so we can make content.
Yeah.
For shorts and stuff.
I've got one, and I had it the last DLC. And what ended up happening was I started filming content at the beginning with Captain Jimmy. And I told a bunch of people that I was going to be filming this content all weekend. And then I never talked to like anyone but the teammates again because I had to be so locked in and laser focused because I won my winning in and then I made day 2 and then I like still had a chance for a couple rounds in there. And like it was so
is your goal this time not day 2?
Yeah, no, I mean like I want to go I want to go and have fun. I think right now, I'm very excited for the ROV house that we got going on. Brad said he's making pancakes.
I'm bringing the griddle, baby.
We're making pancakes. And then, so we're
already at ROV house.
Whoa, no.
Description
whoa. we are contractually obligated not to have a party at this.
I have a big meet and
raffle.
greet with the ROV crew.
All right.
I got
Anyway.
pancakes.
Anyway, we are
Pancake party. Let's
if
go.
you think it's us that's staying at your Airbnb, you're wrong. You're wrong. Okay, it's somebody else.
We'll get a whole pancake
Just
goofy
get a
cosplay.
notification that our Airbnb got canceled.
So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited to be able to stress bother all of my teammates about which cards I should put in my deck, and what I should play. I think I'm gonna start off trying to like grind some tickets. Right, like Friday, my goal is to do as best as I can to try and get as many tickets as I can. And then, I'm going to play the competitive event and have fun. And if I do well enough and make day 2, then, I get tickets, but I don't really have much expectation for it. Going into, Richmond, I felt much, much more comfortable on the deck, in the meta, in my play. Here, I don't know. We've talked about it a million times over. Infinity's not my bag, unfortunately.
Nope. Me either. I'd be so much more confident if it was core, but
Yeah.
I just don't care. That's why I'm just going to have fun and see what happens. I am not expecting anything at all.
But yeah, so I would love to try and win some tickets, have some fun with my friends, meet all of you and all of the other awesome content creators out there, and make some fun, interesting, funny, cool content with my friends.
Guys, I should have got a pancake goofy cosplay if I'm making
Ooh,
pancakes at the
pancake
house, man.
goofy. We should
I
have
dropped
brought
the ball on that.
a comically large stack of pancakes, of real pancakes that you make, like 20 tall, and you put like one of the cake covers over it in the car ride, and then you get there, and right as you walk in the DLC, you take the lid off, and you just start walking in, wobbling around with this giant thing of pancakes.
No, you just need to get like you could just make it out of styrofoam, and then paint.
No,
it.
I want people to
That'd be
eat
recording.
these.
No, yeah,
Like,
and then
yeah, man.
people-
Don't you just wish sometimes somebody just walk into your room with a giant stack of pancakes that are edible?
JDZ comes over and just one shots one of your pancakes.
Yeah.
I mean, probably
100%
would.
Content, baby.
He probably would.
We'll put some
100%.
Vegemite on it.
He took a whole spoonful of Vegemite.
Spoonful.
Do not recommend.
Handful.
Do not recommend.
You had it too?
Entire handful.
Yeah, I've had it. Yeah, it's yeasty.
Don't use that word again.
I'm also really, one of the things I think we should talk about being really excited about is there are going to be some wonderful artists to get things signed as well. So if you pulled out all your cards,
I've got a Buzz Lightyear from Coney.
Yep, I got a
and
whole
Mickey
stack
Mouse. These ones, the Whole New Worlds, are Ian McDonald.
Yep,
they will also be there. I've got another Ian McDonald promo here. We've got the Coney DLC promo.
Hey, that's what I got.
A couple Ian McDonald promos here. I'm told that Augie,
yeah,
Augie only draws incredibly playable cards. So all of our Augie cards are in decks already. So we'll be temporarily taking them out of the deck and then getting them signed and then just putting them back in.
Okay.
So we don't have any of those aside to bring because they're all in use because again, it's part of their contract, I believe. Augie says, look, if this card isn't like doesn't win 2 DLCs in the first year that it's released, then
you have to destroy the artwork.
Is Kirsten getting the Ease McCat signed by Augie?
Good one. That's a good one. Maybe I'll have to find one.
Yeah, it'll be really exciting. So unfortunately, we were hoping to have our dear captain on as well to talk more about where the team will be, but I guess what do we think? Where do we think our team is going to be? We had 2 day 2s in Richmond. First event we're taking the entire team with. What are our expectations for the Rules of Villainy team?
So yeah, we've got 7 team members, of which at least 6 of them are highly skilled, myself excluded. So, no, I don't know. I think some of the team members are kind of in the same boat that I am. I think some of them have similar feelings where they're like, "Look, I found a deck that I kind of like more than the others. Um, it's fun to play. It's a little bit nostalgic, maybe. Um, and you know, I'm a good Lorcana player, right? I got the fundamentals. I'm good at decision making. You know, I can play any deck there is. So I think a lot of them are just kind of like, I'm gonna go there and see how that goes, right? I do know that we have a couple teammates that have been grinding a little bit more than others, perhaps, and um, I don't know what their expectations are exactly, but um, I don't know, man. Some of it feels like we have a couple teammates who may just kind of pop off, right?
Yeah.
They've got the
I think
skill, they've got the experience, they've got the practice, they've got the know-how, they've got the meta reads. I think there's a couple of our teammates who have done a whole lot of homework because they seem to be enjoying the format maybe a little more um, than I am, at least. And you just sprinkle in a couple good shuffles, couple good RPH
matchups.
pairings,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, um,
We're bringing home a golden Mickey.
yeah, bring home gold, Mickey or ROV. I mean, at the very least, we could up the numbers. We get 3-day tours, right? We've had 2
I
at
think
both
every single
DLCs.
one of you. Every single one of you, I think, can do very well, and it's going to come down to, like you said, the luck of the draw, the luck of the pairing, and the luck in whether or not the deck is
Luck of the
cooperating with you.
Irish.
Because every single one of you put in the work, and I see you guys on Monday nights at game night when you guys make it out for playtesting, just jamming the entire time. Back and forth and coaching and trying to figure out, hey, how could I have done this differently? And seeing that kind of work go in is just admirable. And I can't wait to see it pay dividends for any and all of you in.
So what I'm hearing is we need an official Rules of Villainy priest to bless our decks before we go into the round.
We need a rabbi. I would like my deck to be kosher.
Kosher. Yeah, I think it's honestly, like you said, gonna really all depend on some luck, but the experience and practice is there to capitalize on getting that luck, which is, really makes the difference between, the average player and the super kind of competitive players, being able to take that advantage when it's given to you. And so I think we've got those puzzle pieces in place, and I'm excited to see how it goes. So before we get into everybody's favorite segment, want to talk a little bit about the metagame. So we kind of talked a little bit about what our metagame expectations were. Do we want to elaborate any further on what we talked about in the questions segment?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like you ever like into something a little bit, but not like super into it. Like every now and then you like watch one of the videos. So then now, like, you're scrolling through on your feed, you get a lot more of this, and they're like, bro, you must, the feeds are dumb, right? The algorithms are not very smart. They're like, you must love this, right? I feel like, again, I'm not the biggest on the Infinity meta, but I feel like I've been so close to it, so adjacent to it, talking about it so much that my phone has listened to me, and I've been getting a lot of this in my feed. So some of the things I've been seeing, I do feel like Dogs has had sort of ebbs and flows. I think there are a lot of people who believe Dogs is the best deck. I believe they switch to something else and then potentially come back to Dogs if they don't succeed with something else. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but I've been seeing a ton of Ruby Sapphire being tested, being talked about, being looked into. Presumably the items variant. I think the shark variant is, I don't want to say cooked, but it's not feeling nearly as good as it was earlier in this set when, as Kirsten reminded me, I got top 4 with a shark variant of a deck. I was like, thought it was fine, but it has since been not fine. Um, and then like even decks like Ruby Amethyst, which I thought was not as great in Infinity because it was just kind of a little in this weird spot where it still couldn't entirely deal with like dogs without playing bad cards. It couldn't go fast enough really to deal with the heavy control. It did really well sort of in the mid range, perhaps drew a lot of cards. But and then Blurple is another one that I didn't feel like was very good in Infinity. However, Brad, I think you've been testing it a little bit. I know I've had some other teammates who've been testing it, and I've seen some nasty things done with Tamatoa and guidebook, but it is still just Blurple, no board wipe, wide board, bad news. And so like there's just so many decks that are available. All of the Diablo decks are available. We have several teammates who have been big into the Emerald Amethyst. I've been testing that out a good bit. Emerald Steel is one that at the beginning of this I was like, best Infinity deck. It's what I'm going to play. And then it kind of like heavily fell off. And then like, we just saw it win our Infinity event that we had, right? So, they were playing. Nick was playing the Queen. Is that what it was, or the Evil Queen?
Legendary Queen, yeah.
Yep.
Is it the Queen or the Evil Queen?
The Queen.
The Queen.
The Queen.
Right? The Queen.
Yeah.
And
I mean, she
he's
is
like,
evil,
he's like, yeah, the Queen's a really good card, and I mean, like, sure, that card did okay. I don't know that he ever once quested and got the extra lore off of her. He gave his opponent like. He probably gave his opponent over those 3 games 20 lore. Maybe not. That would be too.
In one game, honestly, it was I think like all the lore.
Yeah.
It was all the lore that Justin
Had
got in the game. It was just like I was like, I hope you win this, buddy. I hope you know what you're doing. You're gonna turn around and hand Justin the win very quickly if you're not careful.
So that all that did was basically it was just like a play a card, draw a card. It's only moderately harder to Sisu that or something, right? It and it giving the lore, drawing a card is much harder of a decision against any deck that isn't a deck that is going to win in one turn with 20 lore from items and Tammy and Dime anyway, right? Like, so you're playing against Blurple, Ruby Amethyst, Amber Steel, right? You have to think about that a little bit more before you potentially give up that lore. If they've gotten off to a good start and have gone wide and you've been able to potentially recover, but now you need to like keep them off of 20 lore for as long as possible. And
put that queen in a Ruby Emerald deck and then just take the lore back with Pirate's Life.
Keep the lore back. But so it's interesting. I think Nick is a very good pilot of that deck. But it makes me think like, okay, well, I played this at the beginning and then I tested it I've been testing it. I tested it on Deck Test Tuesday, literally a few days ago by the time you're watching this. It just, is lackluster. It feels like it still has its high roll, but even its high roll is potentially not the greatest. And it's just like, well, do you just have to be really lucky? Do you have to be really skilled and really lucky? Something like that. It just, I don't know. There's the summary there is that there is a lot of decks that are very viable in this metagame.
Yep.
Yeah. It does feel though, in some respects though, that it is very much dependent on your match.
Sure.
So you could go in if you're a dogs player and stuff, I mean, I think your matchup spread is pretty decent across most decks except for maybe Ruby Amethyst. Um, I think that's probably going to be your worst matchup. I would say. Uh, you know, I just it'll be really interesting to see what ends up making it into that first kind of like top cut. And I think a lot of that is going to be very dependent on, how comfortable you are with a deck and what matchups you get that favor the deck that you're playing.
According to Inkdex, Emerald's worst matchup is no.
No, it's just
N-
not
no,
a
it's
deck.
just-
There's not a bad one.
Yeah, no. There just isn't one. Null. Did not find.
Yeah.
Does not compute. The worst matchup technically is Ruby Amethyst at 48%.
Yeah.
But that's actually literally
It's
the
like
only one that's below 50%. According to
it's a
Inkdex,
coin toss. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
at okay, so if we sort by higher relevance tournaments, it goes down to 45%. So Ruby Amethyst definitely appears to have the
But
you know,
Ruby Amethyst just doesn't it's not as good into the rest of the meta share, right?
it
Like
has
what
an
it's
overall 50% win rate. Yeah, it does decent into anything but the heavier control decks, it looks like. And then it's kind of 50% ish and maybe some of the more mid-range matchups, but it doesn't do good into things like Baja or Ruby Sapphire.
yeah. That's kind of what I expected, right? Yeah. So I mean, we saw in the first Infinity tournament that we've seen, which was I think at Ink, we saw Ruby Amethyst do pretty well in that event. And really ever since, I don't think it's been as prevalent. It is it kind of in the bottom tier of that tier one decks, according to Ink decks. So the top two decks being that Amber Steel and Amber Emerald.
So
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. What I really find really interesting about this and stuff is that how with the Infinity with the play for Indianapolis is how the decks have like kind of informed the core decks as well a little bit. There's been this like push and pull a little bit between core and Infinity. Right. I've seen some like techs being made in Blurple that first were techs made actually for in the Infinity format of Blurple. And so I think that's kind of interesting.
so it looks
and
like oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just gonna I found some statistics here. My producer sent these over to me. They said it looks like of the 3-star meta relevancy, which appears to be, basically 100-ish players and more, in Infinity, for this meta game, we have all the first place matches. We have 2 Steel Song, 1 Ruby Amethyst, Ruby Sapphire, Dogs, uh, Emerald Amethyst, Amber Steel, Dogs. And that's from oldest to newest. So lots of Amber Steel winning, Dogs winning a little bit, but you're right. We did see Ruby Amethyst at the beginning of this event of this season. And now, I think a lot of Dogs and a lot of Amber Steel to try and combat those Dogs.
Yeah. Well, Amber Ruby can't. I mean, Ruby Amethyst can't do very well against Dogs. I'm not. I can't do very well against Amber Steel. Like I feel like that's actually a pretty hard matchup.
Yeah, Amber Steel should definitely do really good into
Um,
Dogs.
And so, yeah, be interesting. What's does Inkdex have? The win loss disparity for Amber Emerald against Amber Steel.
Amber Emerald versus Amber Steel in Infinity. For Wilds Unknown at a high level, it looks like Amber Steel has a 47% win rate into Amber Emerald. Yeah.
So it is actually better into
That's
Amber Emerald versus
159 matches recorded. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
interesting.
kind of interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, any last
Under the
thoughts?
Sea really hurts Amber Steel a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, for sure. For sure. But I mean, they do at least have Pete,
Yeah.
and they can
Not the
Mowgli
only thing. Yeah.
Mowgli it out of there.
Yeah, Mowgli. They can also, their
Sure.
biggest advantage is the ability to be able to very early disrupt, being able to sing the Under the Sea or a tramp, being able to get a tramp out or something like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, you got options to get that
relatively early.
out though. You got the bare necessities and Mowgli.
Yeah,
Bare necessities
and
is a
Pete.
good card.
pretty good card. Pretty good
yeah.
card.
All right. Anything else? All right. Let's move on to Villain of the Week.
Changed. uh Sorry, I the image changed in front of me. Thanks, Andy. Our villain of the week this set is a 4-cost uninkable card that is Elinor, renowned diplomat. She is a 3 strength, 4 willpower, 1 lore. She's storyborn, mentor, and queen, and she has the ability coordinated efforts at the end of your turn. If you have 3 or more exerted characters in play, deal 1 damage to a chosen opposing character, gain 1 lore, and draw a card. And it is brutal because she comes out so early now. The Dogs players have figured out how to get her out on turn 3. And at that point, they already have 3 characters exerted between Aurora, the tree, and whatever other 1-drop they dropped with the tree. And she's immediately starting to ping your cards, draw a card, and get lore, and all the while setting up the Under the Sea that we were just talking about with the 4 cost on her, allowing her to halfway sing that entire song. How do you guys feel about her in testing? I know you've played with her a little bit, Andy, on Deck Test Tuesdays, right? Or at least against her.
Yeah, sure. I've played with her and against her. I think arguably, this might be a hot take, so go ahead and clip it if you'd like. Send it to your friend.
Clip that.
Mid. I honestly think Elinor is
really
less good than people. So this is the reason why I think Elinor is not as good. You said it right there. They have ways of getting her out very early and being able to get that going.
Yeah.
So 1-drop Aurora, 2-drop, turn 2, Willow, 1-drop, turn 3, quest with one of the Auroras, play the Elinor now for only 2 ink at that point if you really wanted, if you didn't want to ink another card, or you can just ink a card. And so you get the Elinor out there and you have 3 1/2s right on board, one of which is very important in your Grandmother Willow, and you quest with those 3. Your opponent has cards. Think about some of the cards your opponents are going to have. What are some of the cards that you're playing in your decks? What are some of the cards that are being played? They're going to have cards that you can hit. Oswald, Fauna, / Basil, right? / Elanwi. They're going to be able to ping your Mulan that has 2 damage on it already. But think about a lot of cards that they are going to be going against. A lot of other 1/2s, Bobbies, 1/3s, and Ursulas, and 2/2s. And, there's just a ton of these targets that they're just not going to be able to hit. And you have to exert all 3 of your characters for 1 lore, 1 card, 1 damage. Is that good? Yes. Like, is it good to be able to gain those 3 things after already have done 3 things? You exert 3 characters. It means you get to do 3 things with them, whether it be challenge or quest we're seeing you did 3 things, and now you get all this free stuff with it. But
Yeah.
I'm just not really convinced of some of these early Elinor lines because it
You don't
exposes,
necessarily
you
have
know,
to have you don't have to have them exert. Maybe the Aurora if you're trying to get her out on 3, but at the time you're just setting up. Like the really good dogs players, like the ones that I play, like Tom, knows. No, I don't need to exert these characters yet. I know what the deck in front of me can do right now. I just need to establish this Elinor because, like I said, it's halfway to Under the Sea. And if you already have the Willow out and 2 1-drops, if they turn nothing sideways, they could just sing Under the Sea next turn.
yeah, but what
Yeah.
now what if you don't have, like now what if you have characters that are not under the seeable, right?
Yeah, if you do.
That's what a lot of people are playing in some of these, larger decks, Ruby
Sure.
Amethyst, Blurple, uh, even anything Ruby is going to be playing something like, was it Liquidator, Jebediah,
Sure. Yeah.
um,
Lumiere to buff him up.
Tinkerbell,
He's
Lumiere,
Lumiere has
even
been fantastic,
if
and
you're brave enough.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so
Lumiere's a good card.
it's for me, ultimately, I think this is a really good card. I think it's extra good in core constructed. Um, I think it's fine. I just, you know, I don't know that this is the card that like warps the meta. Like, I don't know.
I'll
We're
say
not
one
we're
thing
not
about
saying
it is
ban Eleanor, right? We're saying ban
no,
Tramp.
No, not at all. I
right,
just think
but
she's
I think this card I agree in the sense that I actually think that makes the dogs deck a little bit slower in pretty much all other matchups because you put that vulnerability of turning things sideways and not building your board. Because, like Andy said, honestly, it could be a pretty like negative tempo swing if they're taking out your tree. I mean, basically, you potentially could clear your 1-drops out, even if they can't deal with the Elinor. But I will say, I've been swayed by the argument that I think the Elinor is actually a better dogs deck against other dogs decks.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Because you can get to the point of just, with 2 Elinors. I mean, honestly, GG. Like you
in
especially get
the
to the
yeah.
the Under the Sea. I mean, we saw that happen this weekend in the matchup versus Tiago and Zenulus.
Logan. Yeah.
I think
Oh, I thought you were talking about the match between Aiden and Lily that we saw on stream. But I mean, yeah, Tiago and Zenulus are also decent players. That's why.
She's also saying, like we're focusing on the early game where I think she's really really strong, but even in the mid game or when you're starting to recur Lilos, you already have these exerted characters out there
That's
as
fair.
well. So it's like there's including herself. She includes herself if you ever want to turn her sideways to get that 1 extra ping. So you could challenge 3 and finish off a 4 body with her if you wanted. So it's like she's really versatile in that sense, and the fact that things are always exerted. Shouldn't say always because dogs really has a lot of setup, but Lilo helps amplify the exertion to get that ability and get you the card draw because dogs players don't play with a lot of ink, right? So I don't know how the ink really applies to what I'm trying to say here, but it's one of those things like the resource management, like it's dogs is a deck that you constantly are weighing what the options, like should I turn these sideways. I agree with both of you. Dogs are better when they just they sit there and wait. On their end they're better. I absolutely hate watching a board not turn sideways because they don't have to, but when you get that extra benefit from her kind of enticing you to do it for a multitude of reasons, that I think it makes it pretty good.
I do agree that she is a better card, I think, in the mid game there for the reasons that you've kind of laid out. I mean, not just the Lilo, but also the Mickey Mouse, which comes in exerted and incentivizes you in a lot of ways.
That's another one. Yeah.
So there's a lot of good opportunities there. 2 of these just cleanly sings Under the Sea. So honestly, like there's just a villain for a reason. But in a lot of ways, I do agree with Andy's point that I do think the Elinor is weaker into other matchups than dogs players, and then she's probably overvalued, I think, into those matchups.
I see.
Yeah, it's for me, and maybe this is just sort of like the way that the dogs deck sort of is, but to me, it's very all in on one resource, which is characters on board, right? If because Elinor benefits from having a lot of characters on board. If you do the 1-drop, play 1-drop, 2-drop, one plus 1-drop, then the Elinor, you quest those 3, and then they clear your board. You now need to get 2 more characters on board, have them stick, and then exert them again with the Elinor now, just to be able to use the Elinor's ability again. So Tramp is another huge one that benefits from having characters on the board. The Little Tramp even as well. Lady, 1-cost Lady, benefits from you playing characters to the board. These are all, you're all sort of putting your eggs in one basket. Under the Sea, you need characters to be able to sing this. The Mickey Mouse, that is, I think the Mickey Mouse is a great card for these Under the Sea decks, but it, when I was
Former villain of the
testing
week.
it without much practice, I realized, you know what? There's times where I forgot and didn't realize that I didn't have enough characters to quest and shrink enough people. Like I didn't have enough characters. The characters on board are the resource that you value most in sort of these dogs decks, and so it makes sense that Elinor fits in them.
Yeah.
For me personally, I don't know that I want to add another egg to that basket. Maybe I would. I like some of the things like, the Chromacon, the Snowfort, the keep you off of me a little bit more, rather than just like get rich from turning sideways.
Absolutely. With that, who is our artist showcase?
Oh, I didn't say that at the time, did I? It is Caesar Vergara. They got 8 cards in the game, of course, including Elinor. Some other playable ones that we see often are You're Welcome, the one featuring Maui, the 4-cost song from set 5. We have a legendary Donald Duck from set 5 as well. Most recently, Nick Wilde, the shift persistent investigator from set 10. But no enchantments yet, but a lot of good cards in there, and we'll have a link to their Instagram in the description below.
I can't believe you didn't mention Scar Vengeful Lion, given that you're such a Scar fan.
Yeah, I kept that one for myself.
All right. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you're joining us on audio, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
And if you're joining us on YouTube, which if you're not, you really should. We have a ton of fun over here. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring that bell, and check out all of our other content, including Deck Test Tuesday, the Mayor's Meta Report, Vince's never-ending daily pack opening videos, and don't forget to ring that bell.
Yep, and we understand your time is valuable, so we appreciate you spending some of it with us. If you'd like to follow along as we plot our devious plans, you can find us on all the socials at Rules of Villainy, and we also have a growing community on Discord, which you could join with the link below.
Until next week, stay safe, fellow villains. Be wary of wannabe heroes who want to disrupt your villainous plans. And as always, remember the rules of villainy.